guys. Today I'll be teaching about puppetry. My name is Ben Zargoza, sorry. My name is Ben myself. And I'm going to be talking to you about puppetry. Now, his name is Adam Puppetry. He's a pioneer of making puppets in general. He teaches people how to make puppets on YouTube and teaches the fundamentals of how to perform. This guy is named Mr. Rogers. He's builds communities around his neighborhood and builds friendships and His name is Jim Henson. He's the godfather of the Muppets. He coined the phrase of the Muppets and how they are, how they presented it. My global context is a personal expression, is a personal and cultural expression. And my learning goes, how can one educate someone about the community, about the importance of this forgotten art form called puppetry? My inspiration: I first got interested in puppetry in 2019, called "The History of the First Ever Muppet Show," and the video really got me interested in puppetry as a whole. And it made me want to go do my first puppet. Now, this is not my definition. This is my definition. This is not Google's. This is what I define as puppetry. Puppetry is an art form where you manipulate a puppet characters. So this is a marionette, which is very different from like a Muppet, like this one. You control with string, and so if you want to nod your head, you like move a finger or your whole hand. And then this one is a kind of like a sock puppet, but you put your whole hand into it and you operate it with your fingers. So you want to nod your head, it would be like this, and you want to move your arms. And this is my puppet that I made 2 years ago when I got the opportunity to go to Maryland for a university over there, and I got to meet a bunch of puppeteers in the process. What is the history of puppetry? So this is some of Burton's puppets they have made in the past, and these are some other puppets that I will get into later on. The history of the puppetry in my words. For the first time in puppetry recorded as a ancient Greece around 15th century BC. But we don't know when it was thought about it, because we don't know when puppetry started as a whole, because it could have started from Asia, Africa, anywhere, because everyone was discovering their own things at their own time. Much of puppetry has evolved over years in countries. There are shadow puppets that are like a 2D drawing that is operated by sticks, and there are masks that portray people or monsters in Africa and make folktale stories about that. But the most popular that came out in Europe and America were the most popular puppets. So your marionettes, your finger puppets, and your Muppets. And in today's world of puppetry, they're used in television and film, and used in technological puppetry, so digital puppetry, and animatronics, which is something you will see at Disney World or Disneyland. And then the history of the Muppets. I'm gonna show you a few seconds of this video. So just give me. So this is a little history on the Muppets and how it was kind of started out as. I'll show you over here because the video is live. Anyone see?
Yeah.
5. An 18-year-old boy named James Henson was hard at work in his parents' living room. He hovered over a small table on which he had placed an assortment of materials. There were sewing tools, glue, an old felt coat that had once belonged to his mother, and one ping pong ball. He took the tattered coat, now in a pile of separate pieces, and stitched together a long tube, just big enough for an arm. On this, he placed 2 smaller pieces of cloth, tacked his 2 arms on the body. He created a triangular head and jaw, big enough for his large hand to operate. Finally, he cut the ping pong ball in half, moving the pieces to either side of the head and marking both with large black slash circles. He then put his hand through the bottom of the puppet, turning it to face him. What was moments ago just felt and string, Jim Henson had given character. Kermit was alive.
So that was the beginning part of how the Kermit was created. Was it going to? It's kind of lagging.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it is. You could try it. I mean, it seems to work if you just turn your laptop off.
Sorry, guys. And then this is the history of the the history of Muppets in my words. So Jim Henson created the Muppets. It started off in a WRC-TV, which was like a television program, and it was called Sam and Friends. It was a bunch of characters that would lip sync to songs or clips from movies or own stories, and it would last around like 5 minutes between like the local news and the broadcast news, like worldwide. After Sam and Friends ended, though, Jim Henson thought of other ideas for working in the community of puppetry. So he created a company and started branching off. The first one, which was the major one that was a success, but it was Sesame Street. So Sesame Street, he created some of those characters and he allowed them to use it, and which was one of the big things that happened in the 1960s, which when it was made. And after it was so popular, in fact, that people thought that puppets were just for kids, which was very hard for him to find a producer to accept his thing because only kids would watch it. And he was trying to make it more adultish, so like anyone can enjoy it, not just kids. But he unfortunately he couldn't find one until one day he found a producer in London who said yes to his show. So he went out to London with his crew members and was able to perform his puppet show that he's been wanting to make, which was called The Muppet Show. So like that's where Kermit and Fozzie and his gang like performed there. And over the years though, after The Muppet Show ended, he worked on various projects like Dark Crystal, Frag Rock, Labyrinth, and so much more. Now, I'm going to teach you about some how people can improve from puppetry, like disabilities for people who are on the spectrum. Puppetry can help out with disabilities, in my words. So it can help out with people who are on the spectrum, and it can make them feel more helpful and make them feel more happy. The University of Yale helped in researching this in why kids focus into puppets more than humans. And the reason why is that humans are very complex in their face structure. It's very difficult to look at the pores, the details, the spots. And when you show a puppet, it is more circle. You're used to those shapes, so you're used to that facial structure where it's like skulls, triangles, and squares, and colorful colors. Oh, I also hope that they continue more research on this because it would be great to get more in depth about this. And I'm going to teach you how to become a puppeteer by a few ways. So, his name is, the best way to start off is by lip syncing to your favorite song or lip syncing to your favorite moment in a movie, so that way you can get used to it. So like copying what they're trying to say with like your hand, or like a marionette by moving like certain parts of the body. Another way I recommend is watching Adam Krunger's videos. The guy who I presented in the beginning, he makes videos. He used to make videos on how to make puppets and how the one-on-one fundamentals of it. But unfortunately, he passed away not too long ago. But it's okay because we had his videos to remember him by, and we can see what he has done in the past. Another way to do it is by going to like a local TV network, showing your reel on how you make puppets, and your skills on it. Another way is also just to make your own YouTube channel and to make your own puppets. Now I'm going to show you a video that I made for a television company. Not a television company, for YouTube. I'm going to show you this quick video. So that's one of the ways how people get into like the industry, by just showing your artistic talents, and that was one of them. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to make your own puppet. I'm gonna show you how to make it. But I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm going to show certain parts of it, since it's a very long video. I'm going to show you the beginning part though. Today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make your very first puppet. Now, one of the key factors is you gotta skip. Where is Cheryl? You there? Oh, you mean this one, right? Is this the one you're talking about? The sketchbook thing for your video that you've been making? Is this the one? Yeah, that's good. Here we go. So I go into depth on like just designing your own puppet. You gotta design it first and name it so you can know what you're making. So these are some of the designs I made. So that's how you design your puppet. I'm going to show you how to make my favorite part of the puppet, which is making the eyes and the nose. We're going to get like a rough shape of it. The puppet. We're going to get like a foam model of the puppet by using the clay. After your desired shape you want, you can use cardboard or a box that you don't care about and put it on here by a hot glue. Then after that you pour this. This is a type of solution. Make it closer. This is a type of liquid, silicone rubber. This is a type of silicone that you rip onto the pattern you want, like this, and it comes out how you want it. Yeah, there you go. Now, I do warn you though, it does take a while. Like, the photo did not that much, but it takes 6 hours just to let it dry. So I would do it like a day in advance. Yeah, it takes a while to pour it in, and this is while just to dry it. I'll leave it on the side, by the way. But it's a 2 and egg mixture. You mix it in. The egg and the beef about the same, and you mix it together with a spoon or something else. And you put it into the mold, and then it comes out how you want it to be. And that's all you have to do. Now I'm going to do that right now to show you how to do it. Now I finished molding the clay of the ice. So you would like mold it, or you would cut like a circle and a wooden circle, and then you would place it on there with like hot glue or something
then I'll
sticky,
show you
so
how
it
to
goes,
mix
it stays in
with
place.
this.
But make sure to
I'll
be
show you
flat
when
because if it's
I'm
not,
done with the mixture.
it's
Okay.
gonna create like an
I
air bubble.
have the box made.
And this is how
And
we make the
now
box.
I am mixing A and B together. I would use a cup and another cup to pour the A and B in separately. You need to make sure that they're leveled the same way or same in both cups, so that way when you pour it, it's evenly distributed. After that, you just gotta mix it with like a fork or a spoon or anything they can throw away, like plastic, until they're mixed evenly. After that, you pour it into the mold, and you just wait. That's all you need to do. Okay. I'm gonna show you it when it's poured, and I'm gonna leave it for the side for like 6 hours. So that's how you do it. So I have finished pouring it, and now it's just sitting by the window. And I'm just letting it dry. I'll
You
come back
gotta
to it in a few hours.
drop it like a cup
And now
so hard. Drop so that air bubbles can escape.
it has fully
It is
sealed.
how it is after it's hardened.
Process.
It feels kind of like butter, but it's not. It's just like a very
You don't have to
hard
go
structure. It's just plastic. It's a rubbery plastic. That's what it is. See how it peels very easily.
Slowly but surely, it will come off. I'll show you when it is fully off.
So
Just like that,
how
it's peeled.
clay is still there, but if I flip it around,
so easy. Smells
it'll
like
show
butter.
the full model.
And take it off. After that, you just get the mold. It's really hard because you're using it for like 6 hours. And you flip it in the exact same mold as this one I flipped.
So the circle.
Now, all I gotta do is pour this. This is the exact same thing. White, and it's a harder end. So when you pour
It
it,
takes
into
quicker
it,
though, like 10 minutes.
it's the same concept as this. You mix you mix A and B together, exactly the same balance. And then you mix it all together, and when it's like fully mixed, you think, it gets a little hot, a little warm. And when it's fully mixed, pour
I
it
do
into
warn you
here.
that this is a little dangerous, so like
Now,
have your
the cashew
parents
comes
around
really
you
much
when you're
quicker.
trying to make this if you want
The
to.
pouring lifetime is 3 minutes, and curing time is 10 minutes. So pour it here, and then it's done. And then, after I'm done with this curing, I'm going to show you how to put them on. Yeah, let's go for that. Now,
So you pour it in and it cures right away, like in a few minutes, and it's easily how it just comes out.
I
Look
already
at that.
tested it to see how big it is. A little too big. Please sand them. And I'll cut back when they're sanded and I'll show you how they look through there. Here's finally the where we get sand. You can find out where they get sand. Okay, now that I've sanded them,
Yeah, that sand is that way it has a good grit texture, so that we can able to
Now?
put stuff on it.
all I gotta do is put a cubicles on them and the eyebrows.
This is my favorite part of the process for the ice.
After that, I'll show you how to put them on and how to cut them out. This is a velvet paper, and I'm going to put them on the puppet eyes. So what you do is you will cut it out very nicely, or use a machine that cuts it out. Now it's kind of hard to find them, but it's a hole puncher.
It's not
Once you're
exactly
able
like a
to
hole
find
puncher.
it,
It's more of just
you're
like
able to cut it out,
like a circle cut
and
out.
if it's
So like when you punch it into it, it'll make
Get
a
the
circle.
right size. I'll cut them out and I'll show you how to do the eyebrows after that. I have now finished cutting the eyes out. And all you gotta do in the back of it is just peel it off and just place it on it. And I'm gonna show you how to do the eyebrows after that. When you look like that, put it on. All I did was just peel it because that's a sticky back to it. Just firmly firmly twisted. Now, you have to put a little bit of like contact cement over the eyes.
So contact cement is a type
Or
of
just
glue that
regular,
is like meant for your shoes, so it's very
super
flexible.
glue.
But that is a little dangerous, so
You could
again,
also,
has
for this design,
transformation
have
to do
to
any
do-
of this.
You have like, sorry.
This is the design of the puppet I'm showing you guys.
He has like black lines over here over his eyes. And you see the bigger too. So I'm gonna do that to this guy. Give him like a wavy, like a little scribbly type of like line. You can also do the same thing with this. Just cut on the scribbly line, very thin, and just place it on there. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'll show you when the eyes are finished. And then I'll move on to the nose. Now, they're glued on. You just layer it on the eyes, the fabric. Now that they're finished, I can move on to the nose. I'll show you how to do that with a fake piece of foam. I have drawn out a pattern of the nose under a puppet. See how it's not like the same size. So now I'm going to cut it like a box right here.
You can also
And then
make your
I'll
own
put the
pattern on a
very
big nose if
similar
you don't waste that much
dimensions of the whole
foam.
nose.
So you can make your own pattern.
And
But it's easier
sanded it
this way
all
because
to
you
the
can
point
shape
where
out the
it
way
is
you want it to
perfect.
be.
Because with the fabric you can see very small imperfections. So I'll show you how to do that right now. Once you have gone through all of this foam, you will get this rounded nose. Yes, it's not that perfect, but it is clean. See? It's perfect enough to the point where if you put it on fabric, it was like a ball. So get a rough shape, but like very kind of rough, fine shape. So that way it looks like how you want it to be. Now, you will cut a circle around it, and then try to stitch around it. And then don't stitch it fully though, just stitch around it. Like, get a needle, and then you
So
stitch around it.
your parents or your grandparents have like sewing materials. This is a great way to use it.
And then you
You
pull
can
on it.
your own type of fabric and to just stitch it around the
And
foam
then
nose.
you sew it up right here. And then you
But make it like a rough circle, so that way when you put it on the nose, it can
I'll show you how to
evenly
stitch it up. No, I'll show
be
you
around
the
it.
result of it. You should be able to stitch like this.
It's kind of like you're stitching like this, like the fabric, you're just going up
See on
and
the
down, up and
inside,
down, but don't
the
tighten it yet.
stitch.
Be like this almost, like how it is right
Now,
there. And then when you
here,
put in the nose, you tighten it up.
And then we just go with
See how it kind of like tightens
I'll show you
and
how
then like
You could have it something like this. And mark on the eyes, don't be surprised. There he goes. Looks a little goofy. But, arm is at the end. There, arm is at the end here. Good. Now, look at his nose. It's a little too. But I can saw that way a little more sticky. Other than that, though, yeah. All I gotta do now is put on.
And I have a puppet right here to show you guys. So I'll show you them right now.
Whoa, that's a good
Full product. So this is how you make your first puppet. I mean, this is how you make your puppet. So, his name is Louis. I give him a name. Say hi.
Hi, Louie.
Hi, Lou.
That's great. Now I'm gonna go back in here, guys want to touch him or feel him? If you want to. Try not.
I'm gonna try.
I'll show you guys at the end. You can feel it at the end.
That's a really cool thing.
I'll show you the. You can feel it on later, okay?
How much time did it take?
It took me like a month, but it was on and off. So if you focus on it for a long time, it can be like 2 weeks.
Can I feel the eyes?
Yeah.
2 weeks. That's good time to make videos and make it. Wait, can I feel that? That's like 2 days. Actually, 4 weeks. I thought it took like 6.
I can show you a video. I can show you the link afterwards, so if you want to watch the full thing.
Okay. Mila, what are you doing? Oh, someone's gonna drop it.
So these are some communities you can go to for puppetry. This is one. It's called the Puppetry of America. It's a convention of people learning about puppetry. So if you don't know that much about puppetry and you want to get into it, this is a great community. Every 2 years, though, they have a festival of puppeteers around the world that come into America. It's only in one part of the state. It switches every now and then, but they've been doing it since the 1930s, and that's where Jim Henson actually got his crew from. He went there like every so often to hire crew members for his show. And I went to it not too long ago, 2 years ago, when I was at middle school, like the end of middle school, and I wanted to be more into puppetry. So I sent in reels like that, or show my other puppets I have made in the past, to show them how to my artistic talents. My conclusion on puppetry: anyone should get into puppetry. To me, at least, it is one of the most beautiful art forms there is, because it combines live action with animation. So you could use drawings. You can draw on the computer or on your tablet and just do the video and import it to like a software, so you can draw like your objects that you want to draw in. And it's very cool to see something like that, because there's not a lot of people who do that. So in conclusion, I hope you got interested in this art form. Here are some examples for the Sonic movie. They use puppeteers because in the so that way they can get a reference on what it looks like. And you can see they're kind of goofy. They're not on model, but that's okay because they're using CGI afterwards. And here are the cast members as puppeteers. And that's my works cited stuff that I used for doing this. Thank you. And then I'll go to the second one. Yes? Oh, I thought you had a question.
Wait, what kind of fabric is that?
Yeah. You guys can share. Just be very careful with it. It took me a long time.
I like the eyes.
Treat it how you would treat it with like your silverware. It's very gentle. You can give it back to me so I can
Is that how you made it in the video? Yeah,
for the fabric? Yeah. So I go to a Fabric Empire. It's a company that makes fur. And one of the furs are like lifer and you just dye it. You can ask your parents on how you do that, but it's very simple. You just boil water and put the fabric in there, and then you put the dye in there and just mix it. So you have another question? You have a question? Multiple, but this is, I only have like 2 of them that I really like. Me personally, but I have like a bunch of puppets that I made. Does anyone have a question? 2019, I was around 10. Turning 16 like in a few days. So it's like 6 years. I'm still 19. Yeah. Oh, materials. If you really want to flex it, if you really want to flex it, you can ask them just to get the certain amount. So you can first buy clay and the model of the puppet you're gonna make. After I go to FedEx and just copy out pieces. It's like soft puppet. No, that's my puppet. It was a flag in the middle and 2 in the middle. And that's it.
Here's a question. Let other people make it racist. Can I ask a question? He wants to ask a question. He wants to ask a question.
Yes.
The puppet does.
What was your favorite
puppet you made?
My favorite puppet that I made was Sleepy. He's my also my favorite. I don't have favorites. Whatever is new what I make is my favorite.
Can you show us how your other puppet? What if you
Yeah.
You don't know how your mom Me too. Oh, geez, someone did
That's the puppet I made first.
That was the first puppet?
Not the first puppet, but it was one of my favorites. So this one and this one is a favorite of mine.
What's the sausage puppet?
It's a pointer. I got it from like a convention. It's just like little wiener puppets.
Can I feel them? Can we feel the wiener?
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's just made out of foam. I mean, not foam. Because there's fluffing in there. Like a
stick.
Oh, stick, so you can operate.
Hey, sir. It looks like a sausage. It is a sausage. Oh, we have long
Yeah, I know. My dogs do that. I try to keep it down as I wish. I want. I can't. Dogs is they have their own
I've never had one. Let's be back. I don't want
And I don't recommend to do this type of puppet. Do your own type.
I just told you.
Like do something that's simple too. So do the soft puppets if you want to. If you just want to make professional eyes, you can do that as well.
Okay, last question.
Yes.
How many puppets have you made?
I made multiple. I would say about 50. But they're all like sock puppets mostly.
I think the sock puppets are. Yeah,
Yeah.
sock puppets. They're really easy. They look easy.
But not that thing. Not that one.
You need it.
Benjamin, could you explain to them the difference between a puppet and a Muppet, if there is one?
Yes. So the difference between a Muppet and a puppet is that Muppets are kind of like these. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain, but puppets in general are anything that you can operate, anything that's like a character, like a physical thing that you operate and manipulate. Muppets are something that Jim Henson created, which was his own rendition. So like a lot of puppeteers know that type of puppet as like, the Muppets, but in general, it's just puppets in general. It's the same concept as it.
So, like the puppets that you hold with strings, as
Yeah.
opposed to the puppets that you control with your hands?
Those are different, yes. So one is like a marionette with strings, and the other one is operating just your hand in your other
Okay,
hand.
so if it has the strings, it's a marionette. It's a type of puppet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also, like Big Bird, he has a marionette. So, you know how like he doesn't have like a third arm, so like, he kind of has to do something like this. So what he has is a counterbalance. To the top of Big Bird's chin, there's like a wire, like a string wire, like a fish wire. So when he moves this, it counterbalance. Sometimes there's like a third puppeteer, he's holding something, and the other one's holding something, and he's like moving. But usually it's just that, it's like a counterbalance. So there are some ways that people use string, but not in the way you think. So yes.
How does she like move like that? Like how he just like
Yeah, so it's like a counterbalance. One part is string right here, the other part is chin, and the other part is string. So when you move this, it moves down. When you move this, it moves up. So like if I do this, kind of like.
Okay, say thank you to Benjamin.
Thank you, Benjamin!